Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Mukahfi and today I'm gonna do a presentation about a paper review as a test for a middle exam in State University of Surabaya. So let's go. So for table of content we have and in the first it's talking about a paper that I was about to be review. And after that, there's introduction, risk analysis in science, risk conceptualization, uncertainty in risk assessments, risk management principles and strategy, future risk assessments and managements, and in the last we have conclusions. So at first about the paper with the title Risk Assessment and Risk Management, Review of Recent Advances on their Foundation with the author name is Sergio Avan and from journal European Journal of Operational Research 253 in 2016 with the page of 1 until 13. So let's talk about some introduction about this paper. With the history, risk assessment and management became a scientific field around 30 until 40 years ago. During that period, scientific journals, research, and conferences began to emerge, focusing on the fundamental principles of assessing and managing risk. These developments led to more advanced analytical methods and wider applications across various sectors. As a result, risk management has become an important and broad field in modern society. So, for the test, author with the name of Sergio Evan explains that risk will have two main tasks. That is, first is to using risk assessment and risk management to handle risk in specific activities such as investments or industrial operations. And for the second task, is for conducting generic research on concepts, theories, methods, frameworks, and risk models to support various application areas. So the goals of this paper is aimed to perform a review of recent advances made in the risk field, having a special focus on the fundamental ideas and thinking that form the generic risk research. So next, for the segment risk analysis and science, does risk-based facts and data. So according to Hansen and Evan in their journal from 2014, the process in risk decision making start the process in risk decision making start with data and information collected, then become evidence, as you can see in the picture at the left, then become evidence that helps build knowledge base. And after that, experts perform risk evaluation where they assess the level of risk and uncertainty based on the available knowledge. And after that, the final step is decision makers review, where managers or policymakers combine scientific results with values, priorities, and consideration before making final decision. And the four PS that I added here. So fact-based in here means that supported by objective scientific information, while value-based are influenced by human judgment, priorities, and ethics. So, with the next, what is risk? So, Society of Risk Analysis or SRA defines several qualitative definitions of risk in 2015. Such as first the possibility of an unfortunate event, the potential for unwanted negative consequences, consequences of an activity and the uncertainties involved, and the continuous. Even if the word is different, the definitions share the same main idea that risk is equal to consequences plus uncertainty. This means risk is not only about change of something bad happening, but also how serious consequences are and how uncertain the risk. We have another definition from Organization for Standardization or ISO in 2009 also defines risk as the effect of uncertainty on objectives. This definition also means that uncertainty is a central part of risk. Next, in what is uncertainty? So, uncertainty is one of key concepts in risk assessment because risk is not only about consequences but also how uncertain those consequences. To handle uncertainty, predominant method is by using probabilistic analytics because it helps represent uncertainty using probability values. It can also work for both types of uncertainty. That is, first types is aleatory uncertainty. This uncertainty is refers to a natural variation or randomness that happens by itself, such as weather change or market demand fluctuations. And also we have the second uncertainty that is epistemic uncertainty that refers to the uncertainty that caused by lack of knowledge such as unknown future risks or limited historical data. So how to manage risk? We have three risk management strategies. The first, uh, risk inform risk informed strategy that is use quantitative risk assessments to make decisions is to decide whether to avoid, reduce, transfer, or retain the risk based on numbers. So the second, we have cautionary or precautionary strategy that build in safety margins, redundancy, and flexibility, especially when uncertainty is high. Act carefully even without full proof of harm. So we have the third, and the last is discursive strategy that involves stakeholders, communicate transparently, reduce ambiguity, and build public trust. The right approach is always a combination of all three, chosen based on the nature and context of the risk. So, the future. What about the future of risk assessments? The field of risk assessments and risk management needs to move from trying to predict everything accurately toward better understanding uncertainty and being prepared for unexpected events. Because of this, field needs to go in these directions. First, focus more on uncertainty, not only probability. Second, use dynamic risk assessment. Third, prepare for emerging risks. Four, build robustness. And five, build robustness and resilience. So the conclusion is the scientific foundation of risk assessment is still weak in some areas, relying only on probability and expected values without considering uncertainty and background knowledge can lead to misleading decisions. Risk, risk should be understood as a combination of consequences, uncertainty, and supporting knowledge, not probability alone. Combining different perspectives has created stronger and more effective risk management frameworks. Integrating probabilistic analysis with qualitative uncertainty assessment, as well as combining traditional risk analysis with robustness, resilience, and precautionary strategies, provides better decision support than using only one approach. There is also a growing need for stronger foundational research in risk assessment and management. Modern challenges such as deep uncertainty, emerging risks, black swan events, and complex interconnected systems require adaptive approaches beyond traditional static risk models. The future of risk management is not perfect prediction, but better preparation, stronger resilience, and more informed decision making under uncertainty. That's all I could present for this review paper. Thank you for listening until the end. I'm really, really sorry for if there's something that is still less than this or weak. I'm really sorry, but if there's anything that I said is maybe that's wrong. So that's it. Thank you very much and goodbye.